This is not a review of Darksiders Genesis. If this was a review of Darksiders Genesis, I would tell you that it's a good time. I would say that I enjoy the banter between War and his brother Strife, who's finally made his Darksiders debut here. If this were a review, I would inform you that even though the camera angle is different from the other Darksiders games, the gameplay remains relatively intact and doesn't change too much from the previous games. The biggest difference is that you now have two horsemen, and you can switch between them at any time, or if you're so inclined, you can pick one of the horsemen and play through the entire game with a friend as the other horseman. Co-op, baby! While soloing the game, however, there will be times where you're forced to change to one of the characters just to use one of their special moves, but that's the least big deal. In a world where a review of Darksiders Genesis was made by me for total badness, I would wish for you to know that Strife is a great addition to the franchise. With his witty remarks and freewheeling gunplay prioritized over melee, he is possibly my favourite horseman in this series. He does have melee attacks, but they're generally weaker than War's attacks, so you're better off focusing on those long-range moves if you want to play as Strife. Darksiders Genesis is a game that could have been reviewed, by me, no less, and in this hypothetical review of which I speak, I could have told you that the game is broken up into levels, unlike the semi-open worlds of the previous games, and each level is full of puzzles and demons to kill, as well as collectibles and upgrade cores, which you, surprise, use to upgrade War and Strife separately. You can also spend the souls you collect on new moves that, again, are specific to either War or Strife. Review Darksiders Genesis I could have, but it ain't this. If a review this was, advised you I could have, that this game runs quite well on PC, and scales nicely to less powerful hardware. On Ultra settings I was getting around 90 frames per second, but there were a ton of frame pacing issues due to my old-ass CPU, so I turned everything down to medium settings, and doing so gave me a much smoother experience without a huge graphical downgrade. I'd love to review Darksiders Genesis, and I had every intention of doing so. If I were to review this game, I would tell you it's badass and that you should buy it if you're a fan of the series, but I can't review it, because I can't review something without finishing it first, which I haven't done yet for one very big reason. The game didn't want me to finish it. You see, after taking a couple of weeks away from the game over the holiday season, I came back only to find that my level 8 save had been corrupted and I would have to start the game again. Level 8 is the exact middle of the game. I was not happy. Mendoza, I screamed. So this could have been a review for Darksiders Genesis, but it's not. This could have been a recommendation, but it isn't. Maybe when the console versions launch on the 14th of February, someone will review it, but it won't be me. Because I'm not allowed to.